It is Wrestlemania 1 on opposite sides as Paul Orndorff and Rowdy Piper collide 1-on-1. The fact of the matter is, following their loss at WrestleMania 1 to Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, Piper and Orndorff split. Orndorff went babyface. Piper stayed heel, and Orndorff slowly but surely became number one. Orndorff slowly but surely became Piper's replacement after 2 years of being, reigning as a babyface. Orndorff turned heel again on Hogan and became just as hot as Piper was as a heel, and could have defeated Hogan as world champion if they really wanted to, but for whatever reason they chose to keep the belt on Hogan. Either way, Piper is taking it to Mr. Wonderful, and this is another one of those matches that in 2K23 we could do, but who knows if we'll do it in 2K24, because who knows who we're going to have downloaded in 2K24. But Piper gets caught coming off the ropes with a right hand from Mr. Wonderful, as Mr. Wonderful gets sent into the barricade by the Hot Rod. Rowdy takes down Mr. Wonderful on the outside. Mr. Wonderful sends Rowdy into the barricade. I mean, it's only fair Rowdy sent him into the steps, so he sends Rowdy into the barricade. Steel on steel on steel. The referee just wants Piper to get back into the ring. That's why she's getting in the way of Mr. Wonderful going on outside. She just wants Piper to get back into the ring because this is a normal one-on-one contest. So she doesn't want Piper outside. She wants everything to be be down the middle, easy, set, fair, so on and so forth. And not have to give I think Piper's just hitting him with palm strikes and returns the favor with a scoop slam and then drops an elbow for a good measure. Let her repressed by Piper. Still early, and a quick kick out by Mr. Wonderful. Piper with just a straight punch right to the side of the head of Mr. Wonderful. Nothing pretty about that one from the Hot Rod, but there ain't a lot that Piper does that is pretty, but a lot of it is sure as hell effective. Power slam by Mr. Wonderful, a reflection of perfection, is Paul Orndorff, making the power moves look easy like only Mr. Wonderful can. Honestly, if you've never heard Mr. Wonderful's WCW theme song, then you're missing out, because that is A+ top flight and memorable 100 times over as far as Mr. Wonderful's WCW theme song. If you've never heard it, you're missing out. But Mr. Wonderful looks to end the match with Piper. He looks to end this match with Piper. Let her press. Piper kicked out. Piper kicked out. Mr. Wonderful is frustrated. I think it's a little early to get that frustrated, but he is frustrated enough as Piper kicked out of the pile driver. This is an old school match with a modern feel, because in the old school, when somebody hit their finisher, number one, though, it didn't take 4 minutes for them to get their finisher, or go for their finisher, I should say. But number two, when they hit it, the match ended, because that was the point of hitting your finish. Running Bulldog, though, by Piper takes down Mr. Wonderful. You want to talk about a finish. Piper's about to go. Forearm shiver. Piper was about to go for the sleeper. Piper was about to go for the sleeper. It took me a second to remember what his finish would be. And I'm about 95% sure Piper's finish is a sleeper. Yes. Not sure what Mr. Wonderful was going for there, but either way, Piper reversed him. Piper's got him up. Textbook vertical suplex by the Hot Rod takes over Mr. Wonderful. Back rake. Just imagine rubbing your nails across the back of somebody, especially if your nails are extra sharp. You know, it's like writing your nails on a chalkboard almost. And Piper is right behind Mr. Wonderful, which he is right behind the ropes, blocking Mr. Wonderful off from getting the ropes. You have to figure smart move by Piper, and great ring awareness by Roddy Piper as well, keeping Mr. Wonderful away from the ropes. Just enough. Just enough. Just by enough, he keeps him away from the ropes. Looks like a forearm shiver, but a hot rod pops up. He's heating up the hot rod. Is Mr. Wonderful. Drop down by Mr. Wonderful, and a back body drop takes over the hot rod. Wonderful wants to go for the letter of press after the back body drop, and Piper kicks out at a 2. Frustration is boiling over for Mr. Wonderful. It sure seems that way, in my opinion, at least. Mid-ring collision by Mr. Wonderful and Piper. Dropkick takes down Mr. Wonderful. Pinfall right in the middle of the ring from the hot rod, but Mr. Wonderful kicks out. Takes him down with an arm wringer. Mr. Wonderful takes down Piper with an arm wringer. Big scoop slam by Mr. Wonderful. I think Mr. Wonderful was going to step away from Piper for a minute, but then he changed his mind and instead proceeds to drop him with a power slam. I think Mr. Wonderful, he's going after the eyes. He's going after the eyes of Piper. Mr. Wonderful was going after the eyes of Piper. Pile driver again. Pile driver again. This time's gotta be it. This time has gotta be it. No! Piper kicked out. Piper kicked out. Piper kicked out. Piper kicked out again at the count of 2.5. And Mr. Wonderful was... I feel like Mr. Wonderful was almost less surprised now than he was earlier. It's like I said, it was a little too early when he was getting that frustrated to get that frustrated, but Piper's laying waste to Mr. Wonderful. And I'm just going to point out now, Mr. Wonderful drops him with a jawbreaker. Yes, it did have the reflection where blood was going to pop up, but the fact of the matter is, blood is off. Because I'm tired of blood popping up every match. And honestly, when we get to that point, I don't know if I agree with that, but a tope con hello by Mr. Wonderful, proving the ever-present conversation starter that with Mr. Wonderful doing a tope suicida, everyone nowadays does a tope suicida, and much like blood meaning less and less the more you see it, a tope suicida means less and less when everybody does it. Drops the knee on Piper, does Mr. Wonderful. Mr. Wonderful, I think, is partially enjoying taking it to Piper as well as he is. Corner clothesline takes down Piper. Piper collapses. Mr. Wonderful's going after the eyes of Piper again. Mr. Wonderful's going after the eyes of Piper again. What a nasty move to do by Mr. Wonderful. Piper's fighting back. Piper's fighting back, but Mr. Wonderful catches him again. Big scoop slam by Mr. Wonderful takes down the hot rod. Double axe handle. Running double axe handle by Mr. Wonderful. Power slam. Such a picture perfect sign. Piper! Last ditch effort by the hot rod, unquestionably. A last ditch effort by the hot rod, unquestionably. With a roll up taking over Mr. Wonderful. Catching Mr. Wonderful off guard and also catching me off guard. Drop down by Piper. Back body drop takes over Mr. Wonderful. Lateral press. Piper with another lateral press. But Mr. Wonderful kicks out easy at the count of 1. Piper's hammering away on Mr. Wonderful. He's stretching out the face of Mr. Wonderful as the hot rod. Hot rod is stretching out the face of Mr. Wonderful. Now he's just banging the head of Mr. Wonderful on the mat. He's just banging Paul's head on the mat. Right now, if there was a cut, he'd be going after it. Piper is measuring him. They right in the middle of the ring. Right in the middle of the ring. Right in the middle of the ring. But Piper was not able to get it in. Mr. Wonderful knew where he was at in the ring. Mr. Wonderful knew where he was at in the ring. And knew well enough to know that he had to do something quick. He had to act quick, and he was able to reach up and grab Piper's head and drop down with a stunner. Piper's fighting back. I think he's just striking him straight with his palm almost. These two are just tit for tat as far as scoop slams. I mean, scoop slams seem to be the easiest move. I mean, the go-to move, I should say, not the easiest move. Piper misses the high-risk maneuver. Mr. Wonderful makes him pay. Mr. Wonderful makes him pay. But Paul Orndorff doesn't realize, I think, how close Piper was to the ropes. And that makes Mr. Wonderful pay for it. Mr. Wonderful paid for it. Because Piper was able to answer and kick right out because of rope break. Piper goes sailing over the top rope. I think Mr. Wonderful just wanted some time to himself. And he's taking a moment to posture. He's feeling it. Mr. Wonderful is feeling it. Mr. Wonderful is feeling it. Piper meets Mr. Wonderful on the outside. Piper blocks him. Mr. Wonderful sends Piper into the barricade. Piper sends him into the barricade. Piper drops him with a drop kick. I think it's good that this match did not have a time limit. This match did not have a time limit, because otherwise we'd be reaching that time limit in the not too distant future, or maybe we would have reached it by now. Piper blocks him. Mr. Wonderful blocked him. Double axe handle to the back of the neck. Double axe handle to the back of the neck. Mr. Wonderful trying something a little bit different. Takes him down with a running lariat. Picking the right time because Piper had his arms up. A variation of the Polish hammer, it seemed like to me. Orndorff's going up top. Big diving knee by Mr. Wonderful. A big diving knee by Mr. Wonderful. And Piper is down for the count. Mr. Wonderful is savoring this moment that he was able to defeat Hot Rod Roddy Piper. And the fact that they actually have Orndorff's name, Orndorff's full name, in the game is a testament to Take-Two for actually including it and giving us the ability to create Orndorff and give him his, give the ring announcer the ability to say his full name. I mean, I guess you're meant to create him almost, but, being a WWE Hall of Famer, I guess all WWE Hall of Famers are, for the most part, most of them should have that access. And it also should be in the next game because WrestleMania 40 and all. But either way, guys, I do appreciate everybody stopping in and hanging out. And with that being said, I just did my Twitch outro. But either way, if you enjoy unique content like this, then there's only one thing to do, and that is like and subscribe down below. Because I'm done for the day, and I will see you in the next one.